Hi, welcome back or welcome to the channel. We are on Apple's website right now to take a look at the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max. So let's take a look at it. We're going to scroll down here, then we're going to talk a bit about the tech specs, see what the difference between the devices are. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Basically that's just a magical, groundbreaking, innovative 48 megapixel camera. All the keywords basically that you've come to know with Apple stuff. Now here are the colors that we're seeing: the deep purple, the gold, the silver, space black. If I were to get one, I'd probably get space black. Although I'll be honest, the deep purple does not look bad at all. Let's see. We get to see a little bit of specs here. So basically, we get to see it had the ceramic shield, tougher than any smartphone glass, water resistance, surgical grade stainless steel, 6.1 inch and 6.7 inch display size. That's, basically the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max. Those are the big difference. This is the new, what they're calling the dynamic island. So basically in certain apps, what will happen is that will expand and show you certain things, like, if you're in music apps or whatnot, which I'll be honest, it seemed pretty cool. Always on display. I know Android phones have had for a while, but iPhones finally have it, so we can basically do text messages instantly, which, on a side note, I like a lot, because the idea of quite a bit, because of the fact that, because I have my Apple Watch on and I have alerts turned off on my Apple Watch, I don't get text message alerts usually because of that particular reason. So, it's pretty nice that, okay, let's see. All day battery life will maybe be the judge of that. So not sure if I'm picking it up or not, or if, yeah. Let's see. You'll find your photo, your widgets, your iPhone. That's actually pretty cool. Let's see what they have here. We can put our photos in front of the time if we want to give it that cool effect. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. It may not look that interesting, but the one is actually in front of. Nah, I get the four too. See, it just gives the illusion of in front, not in front of whatnot. And then, yeah, so this honestly not too bad. We can pick, I'll be honest, I'd probably go with the default font. That's basically it. Let's get into other specs, okay? Okay, here we go with the specs. On the left is the iPhone Pro, and on the right is the iPhone Pro Max. iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max. I guess this is like a head-to-head. iPhone 14 Pro versus iPhone 14 Pro Max. Who will win? But yeah, okay, so they all come in the same color design, and it looks like both of these have 3 cameras, which is interesting because if you go back to the iPhone 12 or even the iPhone 13, the normal variant had the 2 cameras. And then and I'm assuming since it had 3 cameras, both of them presumably have LiDAR. I guess we'll see about that. Yep, both of them have the 3 same camera. They have the same color choices. Now, I've seen the color choices more flat out like this. I definitely would probably go with space black, but still the deep purple doesn't seem too bad. The silver and the gold seem way too bright and dull at the same time for my take personally, but that's just from a picture. I'm sure in person they look quite a bit flashier. Let's see, the capacity you can get for both of them seem exactly the same. The options, 128 gigabyte, 256 gigabyte, 512 gigabyte, or 1 terabyte for both of them. Now, here's where we will get to the difference. The iPhone 14 Pro only weighs 7.27 ounces or 206 grams, and it is actually thinner. Apparently it's a little bit thinner than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, because if you look here, it's 2.81 inches. Wait, that's width. Yeah, 2.81 inches with 5.81 height. So the height and width are a little bit bigger. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. So when it said height and width, it was going by here, and then depth is what I was looking for. So yeah, they're both exactly the same depth-wise. So yeah, feel free to leave in the comment section below that I made such a silly mistake there. But yeah, let's continue. Now, both of them are Super Retina display, but as you can see, the iPhone 14 Pro is only 6.1 inches diagonal. It's all OLED, you know, all on, let's see, always on OLED display. But the iPhone 14 Pro Max is 6.7 inches diagonal. So, you know, if you still want that extra screen real estate, you have the option. But it doesn't look like you'll be able, I mean, it doesn't look like you'll have to compromise too much. Let's see, both models. These, both models. Okay, so Dynamic Island, always on display. Dynamic Island at the middle part, in case you were curious. ProMotion technology with adaptive refresh rates up to 120 hertz. HDR display, True Tone. I personally already turned off True Tone, but True Tone being an option, it's always nice. Wide color, haptic touch. Let's see. Okay, this contrast ratio. It says a typical. I'll believe it because I really don't know the spectrum for contrast ratio. 1000 nits and brightness is typical. Okay, okay. Fingerprint resistant coating. That's so helpful, honestly, because fingerprints are the phone's weakness. Fingerprints. Don't get me started. Let's see. Support for display of multiple languages and characters simultaneously. That's nice. Let's see. And as far as, splash, water, and dust resistant. That is an equivalent to quote unquote waterproof, but it's not exactly 100% waterproof, so you still have to be a bit careful. It is IP rated IP68. So what that means is maximum depth of 6 meters up to 30 minutes under IEC standard. Okay, so basically, like, I wouldn't recommend throwing your iPhone in a pool, but this seems like it might make it a little bit easier to survive. Now, most newer iPhones are somewhat water, whatever. So, I actually like light sprinkles and stuff. It's perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. Um, and yeah, this should survive a lot more. Okay, A16 Bionic chip. Now, see, these are all specs that both of them have. So, both the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max both have these. Let's see, A16 Bionic chip, 6-core CPU with 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores, 5-core GPU, 16-core neutral engine. Man, this is looking for a beast. It's funny because Macs are considered gaming devices, but this iPhone seems like it would be a good gaming device. Let's see, Pro camera. Here, this is what I want to know about all the camera stuff. Okay, 48 megapixel main, 22 millimeter. Let's see. Okay, stabilization, optical, image stabilization. Let's see, 12 megapixel ultra wide focus lens, 12 megapixel times 2 tele lens. These are basically the camera that are on it. The camera's on the back. So I'm looking for something else. Let's see. Here we go. 12 megapixel hello. Okay. Let's see. Let's continue on. 3 times optical zoom in, 2 times optical zoom out, 6 times optical range. Digital zoom up to 15 times. That's like brilliant. Almost overkill at that point. Okay, let's continue. Sapphire crystal lens cover. The adaptive true tone flash. Photonic engine. Deep fusion. Smart HDR4. Portrait mode with advanced in-depth control, portrait lighting with six effects: neutral, studio, contour, stage mono, high key mono, night mode. Okay, night mode. Portraits enabled by LiDAR scanner. So I was right. Since there are 3 cameras on each of them, the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max both have LiDAR scanner. So that's pretty cool. I've been playing around a bit with LiDAR scanners with my iPad Pro. So it's pretty interesting. Panorama up to 63 megapixels. Let's see. Photographic styles. Okay. Okay. Apple Pro RAW. Let's see. Wide color capture for photos and live photos. Yeah, that could so be used in a pinch as a replacement for certain HDR cameras and whatnot. Let's see, lens correction, ultra wide, advanced red eye correction. Let's see, audio, image stabilization, burst mode. So basically, I just read you guys all that, just about everything. Image formats captured. You can capture in JPEG, HEIF, and DNG. I don't know what two of those are, but that's because I'm not really a photo editing expert. Let's see video real quick, shall we? Okay, so we can record all the standard videos, action mode up to 60. Okay, quick take video. Okay, so it seems like, oh, and slow mode. Slow mode support for 1080p at 120 frames per second or 240 frames per second. I'm just getting the, just going over the big bits. Okay, 4K at 60, ProRes video recording 4K at 30. Let's see, digital zoom up to 9 times. Digital zoom for video is pretty interesting. True depth camera, 12 megapixel. Okay, this is quite a bit. Face ID. Okay, so Face ID is something that they are doing as well, just like all the previous models. Face ID, it would be kind of weird if they didn't have Face ID. Face ID for Apple Pay. I guess we should go over the price real quick. So you can pre-order the iPhone 14 Pro or the iPhone 14 Pro Max right now. The iPhone 14 Pro starts at $999. That is US currency. And the iPhone 14 Pro Max starts at $1099, which is again US currency. Let me know in the comment section below, do you plan on getting an iPhone 14 Pro or an iPhone 14 Pro Max? Are you going to pre-order now, or are you going to wait till they've been out a while and maybe get a bit cheaper and whatnot from, or carrier deals, different things like that? And yeah, with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.